I'm leaving the everyday behind in search of something new. After being on the road for so long, I've come to realize that it's not what you're looking at that matters, but how you see it. These are my travels. This is my world. We just arrived in Jakarta, Indonesia, and obviously it was on the correct day because look at this crazy scene behind us. Because the traffic in Jakarta is so bad, for a few hours every Sunday morning, one of the busiest streets in the city gets shut down. It's great people watching, and you can also try a variety of street food. About to try some lonta. Let's see how it tastes. It's filled with water.
It's hard to describe though. It's like jelly with water.
Yeah, it's not bad actually.
It's a little bit sweet, but not much. Makasih ya.
We are here in Jakarta in Old Town. We actually linked up with Dewi, who is from the famous Indonesia. We're gonna go around, eat some food, try the local cuisine. Because of the sweltering heat in Jakarta, just walking around you develop a great need for water. So naturally I wasn't too thrilled when the first dish we tried was about the driest thing I ever put in my mouth. It was something called kerak telur, which is basically a dry, crusty omelet. Dewi's kind of gonna help us out here with a little bit of the language.
Right, yes, so selamat datang, which means welcome.
I really enjoyed my time in Kota Tua. There's a lot of interesting things to see and do, and the people here were beyond welcoming. Yeah, so apparently I'm a bit of a novelty here in Jakarta, but it's great, everyone's super friendly. We just hopped in a couple of bajais, and now we're on our way to check out the old harbor.
So this is Pelabuhan Sunda Kelapa. As you can see, big ships, and you can also take a tour with a small boat around this area.
Back in its day, this port played a significant role in the city's development. The harbor here is way more industrial than touristy, and so it gives you an idea of what early dock working was like. After the government condemned the housing unsafe, the only thing left of the fishing village here are mountains of rubble and makeshift tents. The air is polluted and the water's dirty. We navigated through alleys infused with the pungent smell of dead fish and clove cigarettes, and all we saw were smiling faces. After leaving the frantic city of Jakarta behind, we took a quick 1-hour flight to Jakarta, which is located in central Java, to relax and check out some temples. This region is known for its unique mix of culture, fine art, and its close proximity to two of the most renowned temples on the island of Java, Prambanan and Borobudur. Before heading out to explore, we wanted to grab some breakfast, and after the sandpaper egg disaster I had back in Jakarta, This time I opted for something with a little more liquid. We stopped to get some food, some bakso. Local place, the driver said it was the best in town, so we're about to dig in.
Can't tell if it's pork or chicken, or pork or beef.
We're here at Prambanan, which is one of the largest Hindu temple sites in Indonesia and one of the biggest in Southeast Asia. They say the Hindu god Shiva actually is what this shrine is dedicated to. There were once 240 temples that stood in this complex. However, today, that number's been reduced to only 8 main temples and 8 small shrines. After visiting the main sanctuary, we headed over to the Sewu complex, which, unlike its neighboring Hindu temple, is a Buddhist temple constructed around the 8th century. Also known as the Water Palace, Tamansari was built in the mid-18th century, primarily as a hiding area for the Sultan. Today you can still see remnants of old meditation chambers, water gardens, and the eerie subterranean mosque. So when we arrived, we thought the initial structure was all there was to the water palace. The complex is occupied by over 2,700 residents, which are known for their batik craft and painting traditions. The entire village can be accessed through these antiquated tunnels that run all along the decrepit underground. We met our friend Adolf last night, who was gracious enough to allow us into his house last night and let us stay. Thank you very much for that. Later on, he's going to take us to the Borobudur Temple, which is actually the largest Buddhist temple in the world. We made it up to the temple here in Borobudur, and the temple itself represents one's path to enlightenment, if you will. The structure consists of 3 levels or tiers, with the highest level representing complete enlightenment or nirvana. We teamed back up with our friend Adolf here, who's going to be taking us through East Java down to Bali over the next few days or so. We've left city life behind to explore some of the nature that the island of Java has to offer. Being that we haven't seen the coast yet, we headed straight for Pancher Beach, which is known for its surfing. Our boy Adolf had a hookup down here, hooked us up with this board for free. Upon arriving, we found that there was very little swell, but it was still nice to step foot in the Indian Ocean. Our original plan was to camp on the beach, but with storm cells quickly approaching, we decided to move into the mountains to find cover. After we left the beach, we were filthy and wanted to wash off, and of course Adolf knew of a badass waterfall hidden in the jungle that we could go to and shower. Our boy Adolf came through again last night and found us a place to stay, which just so happened to be a bamboo hut. It was in the shadow of Mount Semeru, which is an active volcano and has been in a constant state of eruption since the 1960s. As we were sitting around the campfire talking, we could actually hear the volcano activity in the background.
We're here in Ijen crater. It's nearby Mount Raung. It's a volcano with about 3,200 meters above sea level. I've climbed it 6 times now, and I'm here with friends.
It's a sulfur mine, that's why we have the gas mask. The sulfur gets pretty thick up here, gets a little hard to breathe, so they gave us this.
Alright. Close your eyes, boys.
As the sun rose that morning, this incredible scene started to illuminate all around us. Seeing this place in the daylight really gave us a sense of how epic it is. Looking back at the train now, it's unbelievable to know the miners do this throughout the night in total darkness. We just interviewed a man that said he's been doing this for 15 years. Twice a day he comes down, carries the load back up, which I couldn't even tell you how long. We walked down and, was winded. He's 35 years old, almost my age. It's just crazy to see the lifestyle they live and what they go through on a daily basis in order to make a living here. Let me ask you, what do you think of people like me coming down here watching you do this?
Ya, makin banyak turis itu kerja di sini makin sulit, Mas. Tapi kalau ada bule yang baik hati itu, kalau foto-foto itu ngasih uang itu lebih enak sama penambang gitu mas.
How many times a day do you make the trip down and back up?
2 times per day.
2 times per day.
We had an amazing time in Java, and we are now leaving it behind for the paradise island of Bali. We're first meeting up with some friends, then we're on our way to Amed to check out some beaches, relax, and of course, get some booze. We just arrived in Amed and we found that it's super laid back. There's a series of fishing villages and bays that loop all along the northeast coast of Bali. The best way to get around here is by scooter, which gives you the option to pick and choose where you want to go and what you want to see.
We're here at Jimlock Bay, which is famous for its snorkeling and scuba diving. In the background you can see Mount Agung, which is the largest volcano here on the island of Bali. And the water's gorgeous, it's crystal clear, and as soon as we finish these margaritas, we're hopping in. We just finished up some amazing days here in Amed. We were able to go snorkeling. We took some scooters up through the mountains, saw some amazing sunsets, and now we're heading over to Ubud to go check out some waterfalls and see some monkeys.
We're in Ubud at the Sacred Monkey Forest. This place is wild because you interact directly with the monkeys here, who are definitely not shy. There's also a ton of moss-covered temples and evil-looking guardians that are hidden all throughout the forest. But you better watch your back and put away anything valuable, because you never know which one of these little f***s is sneaking up behind you.
Although they look really cute and nice, they're actually pretty aggressive. They'll come up on you, try and steal anything you have in order to exchange for food.
We're at the Tanganukan waterfall, which is a 20-minute drive from Ubud. It's popular among locals looking for a quick escape from the city. It's a little trashy, a little crowded, and a long walk down, but I found it was totally worth it.
We're here at the Uluwatu Temple, and it's a very special place because the Balinese Hindus believe that the three energies from Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva actually become one here. So you have the creator, the preserver, and the destroyer of life all in harmony at this place.
Before arriving in Indonesia, I didn't really know what to expect. I was amazed at how friendly and hospitable the people were. I made some great friends and shared some unforgettable experiences. This is the reason I travel. It truly was an eye-opening experience, but this journey's far from done. Now I'm off to the next destination to see what else this world has to offer.